Hello fellow Clashers, welcome to another episode of Challenge Winning Decks. Today we're going to be doing a video on the ever popular Giant Poison Mega Minion combo. This deck is such a strong combination, it is so difficult to stop right now, and in fact I have 3 challenge winning replays from 3 different people using very similar decks in this video. Anybody that's been playing Challenge recently has noticed the similar setup here where we have the Giant, the Poison, the Mega Minion, the Zap, the Elixir Collector, and the Ice Spirit all in the same deck, and these 3 replays that you're going to be seeing have all of those same cards. 6 of the same cards in each of them, just switching out between 2 really strong DPS units like either the Prince, the Musketeer, or the P.e.k.k.a. Now, those 2 that you're going to pick out of those 3, it's gonna depend on the type of playstyle that you have. I'm sure that you could switch one of them out for something else, maybe like the Valkyrie or something like that, but that is not what we see here in this video. We're watching the specific combination that everybody is very opinionated about right now. Either you love it because you're playing it and you're good at it, or you hate it because it's all you're seeing right now. Regardless of what that is, you cannot deny that this is a strong combination right now. So let's go ahead and get started. Talk about what makes this deck so strong. The first card that you're going to be picking, of course, is the Giant. The Giant is such a strong card right now. Even though it recently got nerfed a little bit, it still does just fine. It's not something that you want to ignore. And the Giant alone isn't so scary by itself, but because of the recent addition to the game with the Mega Minion, the Giant is very difficult to counter. When you have a Mega Minion paired up against it, that Giant is going to tank that damage from that Mega Minion, and then that Mega Minion is going to go up behind it and make sure that it is there to clear enemy troops. To make things even worse, then you have the Poison, and the Poison is such a strong card. And a lot of people have been talking about how they think it's going to be nerfed in the near future. We'll see if that actually happens. I don't think that Supercell can completely ignore it, but Poison is definitely a strong card right now because of its ability to slow enemy troops while allowing you to push with your supporting troops and make your way to that tower. Right here you see Lord Pigeon doing a very strong push. That Poison was able to clear up the last bit of that tower, and you can see that it's just a very strong combination. Lord Pigeon decided to go with the Musketeer and the Prince in this deck, and in this next video you're going to be seeing Führer using the P.e.k.k.a. instead of that Prince. Now, that's a good choice, especially if you don't have a Prince leveled all the way up. P.e.k.k.a. is a great combination. He has high enough damage that you just cannot ignore him. The P.e.k.k.a. is by far one of my favorite cards, and if I were playing this, I would probably choose the P.e.k.k.a. Musketeer combo like Führer is using. That being said, if you do have a strong enough Prince, the Prince is a good card to be using as well because its ability to push the Giant close up to the tower and make the Giant get to the tower even faster. Now, I did want to talk a little bit about the Elixir Collector. Now, the Elixir Collector has been one of my favorite cards for a very long time. It's a great card. Supercell made the Elixir Collector super strong, and then they had 3 or 4 nerfs to the Elixir Collector in a row until they finally got it to the point where it's a pretty balanced card, but it's still one of my favorites. And the reason why is because of its ability to allow you to force your opponent to go on the offense when you are wanting to be on the defense. Right here you've got Führer doing exactly that, where he's got that Musketeer and that Poison, stopping this minor push that's a very strong push, but because of that Elixir Collector in that back, we know that our opponent is going to be very worried about what is coming up next. When you're playing the Giant, you do want to play the Giant in the back of your King's Tower the majority of the time because that gives you plenty of time to build up a solid push. One of the reasons why the Zap is in here is because Zap is such a strong card to be using. With Giants being so prevalent in the meta right now, a lot of people are placing Inferno Towers in their decks. In fact, I've seen a lot of people that will use a minor Inferno Tower cycle deck to pretty much have a completely unstoppable defense supporting a completely unstoppable or a difficult to stop offense. It's a very strong combination right now, and so that Zap allows you to reset that Inferno Tower, and so does the Ice Spirit. The zap is great for using at any moment, whereas the Ice Spirit you have to play a little bit, you have to be a little bit preemptive and know when your opponent's going to be placing down Inferno Towers. So that's why the Ice Spirit and the zap are so essential when it comes to this deck. Now, choosing between those 3 different cards, you're going to choose 2 of either the Musketeer, the Mini-P.E.K.K.A, or the Prince. You're going to want to be making that choice based off of the cards that you like, the cards that you have leveled up, and also what your opponents are going to be using in, or most likely going to be using because of the current meta. Honestly, I love the Musketeer Mini-P.E.K.K.A combination, but that Prince, you just cannot ignore it. Right there, we've got a solid win from Führer, and now we're going to be watching Aha, also from Son of a Witch, doing the same deck, but instead of, but what he decides to do is a Prince Mini-P.E.K.K.A combination. The Mini-P.E.K.K.A and the Prince work very well together. They're both very, they're both close range troops, and so this deck you're going to be, you have to play a little bit more carefully because you do not have that Musketeer to give that extra support from behind. That being said, the Mini-P.E.K.K.A and the Prince together work very well to clear really heavy troops. And you'll see right here, Aha's making an interesting play. I was watching this replay, and I was pretty surprised. He's playing against the Lava Hound. This deck does not have very good counters against the Lava Hound because it takes out that Musketeer and replaces it for a different card, a ground troop. Now, Aha knows his weakness right here, and so what he decides to do is go for a push on the opposite side, cycle back to his Mega Minion, and try to defend without losing a tower, and we just barely are able to do that. Of course, he knows that he's going to lose that tower, so he has to play very carefully if he's going to win this match. Now, the Lava Hound deck is another type of deck that really gets a big buff because of the Mega Minion. Because of that, Aha knows that this is his weakness, he needs to do something, and right now things are not looking good. He knows that the only way that he can win is by going for a 3 crown. Because the Lava Hound is so slow and does so little damage by itself before it's taken out and those lava pups come out, Aha has a really good opportunity if he's able to put that giant down, get that Prince pushing his giant closer to the tower and trying to make his way for that King's Tower 3 crown victory. We'll see him try to do that right here. He places that Prince very far in the back. He knows he's going to lose that tower to the left, and so his goal is to try and push all the way through. Now we see the Lightning, which is very strong in the meta right now with the Lava Hound decks that we're seeing a lot of. You'll actually see me doing a Lightning Lava Hound deck in my next Kairos Coaches video, so you'll want to stay tuned for that. Now, this deck does such a good job at clearing small push troops, or small cycle decks. The reason why is because once you get a good solid push there, those cycle decks have such a hard time dealing with this deck. It looks like things are getting close here. Very close match between these two players, and it looks like Aha is barely able to take a victory out of that. Thank you so much for those that are watching, and to those that are constantly trying to give me these challenge winning replays. This is KairosTime ticking by, and we will see you in the arena.